Good morning, Digit fam. Adam Dowd here with another array of tech variables for you to process. I don't know if that makes any sense at all. I'm not a programmer. Just smile and nod. We've got a very special guest joining us today from sunny California. Jon Rettinger, prominent YouTuber in the tech space, sounds off on his iPhone 11 predictions because that's how we do here on the Digit Daily. So I hope you'll give him a nice warm welcome hug that's only slightly inappropriately too long. It is August 20th, 2019, and this is your Digit Daily. Before we get to Jon, our first top story is more of a compare and contrast. We've got news on two different streaming services coming to your set-top boxes in the near future, Disney Plus and Apple TV Plus. We'll start with the former, and for anyone who still gets former and latter confused like I do occasionally, we'll start with the first one. It's okay, we're all learning. Disney Plus will launch on everything, with one notable exception. Amazon. No Fire TV, no Kindles. Everything else is pretty much in. Apple TV, Roku, Chromecast, etc. But no Amazon to be seen, which is weird, and another reason not to buy an Amazon Fire Stick. There's no word on which boxes will support 4K, Dolby, things like that. Pricing is $6.99 like we already knew. There's a bundle with Hulu and ESPN Plus for $12.99. Again, not new info, but we have more world pricing and availability with Canada and the Netherlands launching on the same day at $8.99 Canadian and €6.99 euros. Moving on. 1 week after it launches in the US and the Netherlands and Canada, Australians and New Zealanders will get Frozen, Avengers, and Toy Story at $8.99 and $9.99 respectively. Meanwhile, in Cupertino, Apple TV Plus will likely launch with the price of $9.99 and include a few shows to start, including Steven Spielberg's Amazing Stories, See with Aquaman, or Ronan as I like to call him, and, this is a quote by the way, a documentary series about extravagant houses called Home. Oh, we get to see how rich white assholes live, huh? That's great. Gonna start with Tim Cook's house so we can all know what TV Plus is paying for? That'd be swell. If you want to get a list of shows coming to the service, you could go back and watch the Apple TV event and see Apple march out its ponies one by one in an awkward, boring monologue session. You shouldn't, but you can. But seriously, don't. Anyway, Apple TV Plus will launch on Apple devices, Roku, Samsung TVs, and Amazon Fire devices, so suck it, Disney. When the news broke, David Chen, who works at Amazon Prime Video, tweeted, "Hey Siri, what's an untenable price for a new streaming service that's launching with like 5 shows?" Sick burn, bro. But the thing is, Apple's gonna get paid with this. You know it, and I know it. People will flock to see Jennifer Aniston and Steven Spielberg and maybe Aquaman. Is this untenable pricing? Yes. Is it untenable pricing that Apple fans will pay? Also, yes. And speaking of Apple getting paid, let's move over to a little bit more conjecture. I reached out to Jon Rettinger, YouTuber and original founder of Techno Buffalo. Jon recently converted his YouTube channel over to a channel called Technically Speaking, and I frankly love his content over there. But he's also got a second channel called The Apple Circle, and it's from there that Jon comes to us. We asked him to ruminate on iPhone rumors, but also to come up with his own perfect iPhone. Here's what my man Jon had to say.
So by all accounts, we are like a month-ish from the iPhone 11, or whatever it's going to be called, debuting. And I don't think there's going to be that many surprises. But this whole sort of process of thinking about the next-gen iPhone kind of got me wondering, what would I want in the next-gen phone? If I could sort of make a phone based on things that are realistic. I'm not talking like holographic display and 64 gigs of RAM for a $150 price point. Like, what would I realistically want in a phone that would make me go crazy? And for me, for the iPhone, it starts with the I/O. I love USB Type-C on the iPad. That is a no-brainer to bring that to the iPhone. You get a lot more third-party functionality. It opens up what that port can do. Lightning is fine. It serves a purpose. It's better than 30-pin. But it is definitely not the I/O of the future. So I would start there. On the display side, if you've used the current gen OnePlus 7 Pro, the screen is beautiful. The refresh rate is incredible. I would like to see that sort of Pro Motion style on the Apple phone. We've got something similar on the iPad. It just looks better, things look smoother, and for my flagship Apple product, I'd expect to have that. Front-firing speakers certainly would also be nice. Smaller notch would be certainly appreciated, even if there was a way to perhaps hide the notch. I'd be okay with a smaller top bezel if it meant no notch at all on the phone. Ultrasonic fingerprint sensor would also be something I think would be really huge to have. I use it a ton on my Android phones to sort of bring back Touch ID in a sense, while still having the versatility and sort of ease of use of Face ID would equally be awesome. I like some sort of pixel level photo processing as well. I think what Google does with machine learning, both on device and in the cloud, is incredible. And from day one of the Pixel 3 to now, it's gotten better. I like to see sort of Apple take that next step. Now, their cameras and their optic technology are good, but they are certainly not as good as the best of Android. And aside from the other stuff, normal processor bumps and spec bumps, I would obviously like improved battery life. Faster charging would be nice. The Note 10 Plus, capable of 45-watt charging. I'm not even asking for that, but something faster than what Apple gives us. Bigger than 5-watt charger in the box would also be nice. Not asking for incredible things here. These are realistic requests that I would have to make me absolutely run out and cop an iPhone 11.
Thank you for that, Mr. Rettinger. Now, if y'all could do me a favor and head on over to youtube.com/theapplecircle and click that friendly little subscribe button, that'd be super swell. And since you're in such a cooperative mood, leave this podcast a review too. Thanks, friends. So now it's time to head into the roundup. Google shut down a service it provided to mobile networks which showed carriers areas where their coverage sucked, like, for example, my front yard. This data was anonymized and shows carriers' signal strength and data speed, so carriers can know where they need to update or expand their infrastructure, like, for example, in my front yard. But, citing privacy concerns, Google no longer is doing that, so I'm going to have to call T-Mobile directly and tell them that their coverage sucks in my front yard. Thanks, Google. Supreme, the fashion line, you can't see it, but air quotes, released its fall catalog, and among items being sold, you'll find a 3G-only feature phone called a burner phone. This, okay, I guess we'll call it a phone, features a massive Supreme logo on the back of it, and it has a built-in camera. Well, that's nice. The phone looks quite distinctive with its giant logo on the back, making it easy to identify the absolute morons who bought this thing in any crowd, which is a nice added feature. Thanks, Supreme. Google Stadia is still coming in November, and yesterday Google had another event to announce the games coming to Stadia, which is basically the same list of games Stadia announced a few months ago, but gotta be making headlines, yo. Android Authority has the full list of about 3 dozen or so games if you want to give it a look. I'm sticking with my Oculus for now, but thanks, Stadia. Yesterday, we talked about the 90-day extension Huawei got to continue to do business with the US. Today, we get Huawei's less than thankful response. Quote, "The extension of the temporary general license doesn't change the fact that Huawei has been treated unjustly. Today's decision won't have a substantial impact on Huawei's business either way. We will continue to focus on developing the best possible products and providing the best possible services to our customers around the world." There's more, and if you have a thing for reading fairly aggressive press statements, you can check it out on AndroidAuthority.com, but geez, you're welcome, Huawei. The oldest webcam in the world, the San Francisco Fog Cam, is shutting down at the end of the month. The webcam has been live since 1994, operated by WebDog and Dano, because of course it is. This cam showed images of San Francisco State University and occasionally a nearby coffee shop, but it's going the way of the dodo because why not? The operators of the cam didn't really give a reason aside from it's time to shut it down, and hey, that's your webcam, bruh. We just appreciate the fact that it was up for 25 years. Thanks, WebDog and Dano. And finally, a Redditor asked the question, if the world population quarantined itself for 2 weeks, would the common cold be eliminated? Surprisingly, the question was already answered in the book What If by XKCD creator Randall Munroe. The short version of the answer is basically yes, but not really. Plus, world economies, governments, things of that nature would basically collapse if we ever tried. So in the meantime, just take some vitamin C, and you're welcome. So that's going to do it for today's Digit Daily. If you'd like to learn more about any of these stories, check out the links in the show notes and subscribe to our daily newsletter on Digit.com. And if you like what you heard, subscribe, leave a review, and don't forget to tell your friends about DigitDailyPod.com. Once again, I'm Adam Dowd, Dead Technology on Twitter, and we'll talk again tomorrow.